On May 25, 2024, Hollywood makeup artist Allie Shehorn thought she was finally moving on. Her relationship with actor Nick Pasqual had ended. According to the court records, she had already sought legal protection and was trying to rebuild her life. But what happened next would leave her fighting for survival. Prosecutors say Pasqual broke into Shehorn's Los Angeles home and launched a violent attack that nearly ended her life. When first responders arrived, the scene was horrifying. Shehorn had suffered approximately 20 stab wounds. The injuries were severe. Blood covered the area. Doctors were unsure whether she would survive. Yet somehow she did. And nearly 2 years later, a jury would hold the man accused of attacking her responsible. Nick Pasqual was not a household name. His acting career included minor roles in television and film. One of his most recognizable appearances was a small role in the hit sitcom How I Met Your Mother. He also appeared in independent productions and reportedly worked on several film projects in Hollywood. To the public, he appeared to be another struggling actor trying to make a career in entertainment. But behind the scenes, prosecutors say a far darker story was unfolding. According to investigators, the relationship between Pasqual and Shehorn had deteriorated dramatically before the attack. Court documents reveal that Shehorn sought a restraining order weeks before the stabbing. The request suggested she feared for her safety. Despite those warnings, prosecutors say Pasqual returned. And on that day in May, the situation exploded into violence. The attack was not random. Authorities argued that Pasqual intentionally entered the residence and targeted his former girlfriend. The violence was extreme. The number of wounds alone shocked investigators. Many attempted murder cases involve a single act of violence. This attack, prosecutors argued, showed persistence and intent. The injuries to Shehorn's neck and arms would later become some of the most powerful evidence presented during trial. As Shehorn recovered, the search for Pasqual began. But investigators soon discovered something troubling. How was gone? Authorities alleged that Pasqual fled California after the attack. Days later, he was located hundreds of miles away at the U.S Mexico border near Sierra Blanca, Texas. His arrest raised immediate questions. Was he attempting to escape prosecution? Investigators believed he was trying to leave the country. Pasqual was taken into custody and eventually extradited back to Los Angeles County to face charges. The criminal case that followed would reveal even more disturbing allegations. In addition to attempted murder, prosecutors charged Pasqual with multiple serious felonies. Court records later showed that he was also convicted of a rape charge connected to an incident that allegedly occurred approximately 1 month before the stabbing. As the trial unfolded, jurors heard testimony from investigators, medical personnel, and the victim herself. Perhaps the most emotional moment came when Allie Shehorn took the stand. Nearly 2 years had passed since the attack. But the scars remained. Reports from inside the courtroom described visible scars on her neck and arms. Those scars served as a permanent reminder of what happened that night. For jurors, they were impossible to ignore. The defense challenged aspects of the prosecution's case, but prosecutors argued that the evidence painted a clear picture. A former girlfriend had sought protection. An attack followed. The suspect fled, and the victim survived to tell the story herself. After reviewing the evidence, the jury reached its decision. Nick Pasqual was convicted on all major counts. The verdict included first-degree residential burglary and attempted murder. For Allie Shehorn, the verdict represented a major step toward justice. For Pasqual, it marked the collapse of any hope of avoiding responsibility. Now the case moves to its final stage, sentencing. Pasqual is scheduled to be sentenced on June 6th. He faces the possibility of spending the rest of his life behind bars. While the legal process is nearly over, the physical and emotional consequences remain. Cases like this often leave lasting trauma long after headlines fade. The scars carried by victims are not only visible, many are invisible, and they can last a lifetime. For investigators, prosecutors, and the jury, the evidence ultimately led to one conclusion. What happened inside that Los Angeles home was not an accident. It was a deliberate act of violence. And now, nearly 2 years later, a courtroom has delivered its answer. But for Allie Shehorn, the recovery journey may continue for years to come.